Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it has been a while since I filmed anything for YouTube, so I may be a little bit rusty, but I promise I'm going to get back into the swing of things. So in this video, I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update and let you know what has been going on lately with me and why I haven't been able to sit down and record any videos. So let's get started. So these last 2 months have been really crazy for me. I've been sick on and off, I guess if you want to put it that way. Basically, it all began like 7 weeks ago. I dislocated my jaw, and it wasn't anything that happened, like, I guess, on purpose. Apparently, I have TMJ, which I did not know, and I guess I was having a lot of tension in my jaw. So I don't actually clench my teeth, like clench them together, but when I'm sleeping, I will hold my mouth open just a little bit and kind of like tense up the muscles while I'm sleeping. And apparently it just got to be too much pressure over time. And I started having a little bit of pain, really mild on the right side. So I went to my dentist and they took x-rays and, did an exam and all that. And basically they said that it was TMJ. And during that exam, they discovered that I have 2 teeth on the upper left over here that needed root canal treatment and crowns put on them. So I already knew that like a while ago because me and my dentist had discussed that a long time ago, but I was under the impression that those 2 teeth weren't really like urgent. And when he did the x-rays for my jaw, he said, yes, these 2 teeth like really need this done as soon as possible. And basically they wanted me to get it done within like the next couple weeks. So I scheduled it and I thought that was it. Fast forward like maybe a week later after that appointment, I woke up in the middle of the night, just one random night, to the most excruciating jaw pain. It was unlike anything I ever felt before. And I first noticed it like I was dreaming. And you know how like if you're having a nightmare and you kind of tell yourself, wake up, if you wake up, this will be over. That's kind of like what was happening. I thought something is wrong, but if I wake up, it will go away. I'm just dreaming. So I woke up and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I like instantly sat straight up in bed because I realized the pain didn't go away. And I realized like it was that bad. So I kind of like sat there for a few minutes, like, what should I do? The pain was really, 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 really bad. In the past, I had an abscess tooth on the left-hand side. And up until this point, I thought that was the worst pain I had ever felt in my entire life because it was also very, very, very extreme pain, but this pain like blew that out the water. I mean, this was like unbearable. So I decided to go to the ER just to figure out like what this is, maybe if they could tell me something. I know, the ER can't really do a whole lot for dental stuff, but I figured the pain was so severe. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like, maybe if I did have another abscess tooth that they didn't catch, maybe it was spreading. Like I didn't know what it could be. So went to the ER, which was a terrible idea because the doctor that I saw was horrible. He didn't examine me, he didn't look at anything, he didn't do any type of blood work to determine if there was any sort of infection. He basically came in, talked to me, and said, well, it's TMJ, call your dentist. So I kind of got the impression that he thought that I was lying and that maybe he thought that I was just trying to get pain medicine, which I found very, very insulting because anyone who knows me knows that I do not take pain medicine under any circumstance. I just don't. I really don't like medicine in general of any kind. I take vitamins every day, and when I'm sick, I'll take cold medicine. That's it. So I wasn't expecting any sort of pain meds, but for me telling him like, yes, the pain is 10 out of 10 and it's very, very severe. And his response basically just being, oh, well, call your dentist. I can't do anything for you. It was very, very like insulting. So go home, whatever. Unfortunately, that day was a Sunday, so I had to wait another whole day before I could call my dentist on Monday. And I was taking over the counter Advil, and it was not touching the pain. It was not doing anything at all. And Monday, called the dentist. They said, yes, we'll get you an emergency appointment. You can come in and be seen. So I did that, and they took one look at me and they were like, oh my God. And they were kind of baffled at first as to, first of all, like how it got so bad in the week since I had seen them and why the ER didn't do anything. And basically my dentist said to me, here's what I can do. I can prescribe you a muscle relaxer. I can prescribe you a steroid pack. And he said, what have you been taking at home? And I said, Advil. And he said, okay, I want you to switch to extra strength Tylenol. So I was like, okay. So that was it. I don't understand why the ER couldn't do that. But anyway, basically, my dentist was very, very alarmed when he was examining me the second time. He pretty much told me that my jaw was dislocated and that I had a pinched nerve, which was the source of the extreme pain. And he pretty much told me, like, you know, completely blunt, there was nothing he could do, that this was like out of his realm, I guess, which was fine. And he gave me the name of a physical therapist to go and see. So he gave me the little pamphlet, like with their information on it. So he said to me, call them as soon as you walk out the door, you know, don't waste any time. So I got in the car, I called this physical therapist office and I said like, hey, you know, I literally just left my dentist office. They told me to call you, like, here's what's going on. So they were like, okay, can you come in right now? Like, we're literally right down the street. If you can come in right now, we can see what we can do. So at this point, I was happy because it felt like someone was finally being able to take me seriously and listen to what I was saying. So I drove there, and unfortunately, they don't take my insurance. And after like kind of communicating with them a little bit, they decided to offer me a like a discount, I guess, if you're paying cash. And so that was really, really nice. So we agreed on that. And I didn't get seen that day just because like the pain was so severe, the swelling was so bad. I mean, I looked crazy. And they told me to come back like 2 or 3 days later for my first physical therapy appointment. So basically that was how that whole thing went. And it has now been, I think, 6 weeks since then. And this upcoming week will be my last week of physical therapy. So my jaw, as you can tell, is clearly back to normal now. And physical therapy has helped me a ton. Basically, I don't know exactly why all of that happened, but basically it just seems like the tension just kind of built up and my jaw was just like, I can't handle it anymore. And that was pretty much like just a random like fluke thing that happened. So yes, everything is better now with that. So after all of that, or while that was going on, I guess, I went in to get my treatment for those 2 teeth on the left-hand side. That was 3 weeks ago, I think. So like in the midst of all this going on, I had to go and get that done. And go in there, everything went totally fine. They put the temporary crowns on, cool. You know, I was nice and numb, no pain. I get home and the inside of my gums felt really, really swollen. Now I have crowns already, but it's been many years since I got them. I only have 2 already, and I got both of them when I was like 17. So I kind of forgot how this was supposed to go in terms of like healing and all that. So I just thought the swelling was normal. You know, I figured the 2 teeth are like literally side by side. They're digging in your mouth. I just thought, you know, no big deal. So the rest of the day, you know, not really any pain, just like I said, swollen on the inside of my gum. The very next day, I wake up and it felt like someone had taken sandpaper and just scrubbed it like all on my gums. So I called the dentist. They're like, okay, you need to come back in immediately. Something is wrong. So I got an appointment the very next day, like 8 a.m. and waited out the whole rest of the day. It was pretty miserable. Anything that I tried to eat, it hurt extremely bad. I was trying to look at it like in the mirror, and again, it was only on the inside. It was like one like little spot. The rest of my gums, like the whole way around, were all totally fine, but eating and drinking anything was extremely, extremely painful. So the next day rolls around, go back to the dentist, and they take one look at it again, and it was my dentist and I guess the dental assistant, both looked at it and they were like, ooh, you know, it's really, really angry. Something is not right. And, you know, they try not to alarm you, but I could tell just based on their reaction that something was wrong. My dentist said to me, when did you first notice this? And I told him, you know, it was really swollen when I got home, you know, 2 days beforehand. And I just thought that was normal. I didn't alarm me till the pain kind of kicked in. So he said, yeah, you know, something is not right. He told me straight up he didn't know what was going on, but that he was going to give me an antibiotic just to see if it was some sort of infection. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So got the antibiotic filled, and the next several days after that, basically it was an infection, and I'll spare you guys the details, but basically I had a like chunk of my gum on the inside that had a huge abscess on it, and then the bottom part of my gum, like where the gum like meets the crown, was like, I don't know if it had gotten cut accidentally or I don't know, but there was like a chunk of it like missing, and it was just bright red, swollen, and then right beside it there was this big abscess. Like it was awful. So I was on antibiotics for that for 5 days and finished the antibiotics, and then literally 2 days later I came down with this illness, and this is kind of where we're at now. Not right now, but this was 2 weeks ago. This was like 11 days ago, from the time that I'm filming this. And basically I randomly out of nowhere got a really, really bad sore throat, a really bad fever and cough that came on out of literally nowhere. And excuse me, at first I just thought, you know, like just my luck, you know, after everything that I've just gone through with my mouth and my teeth and my jaw, like now I really have to deal with this too. Are you kidding me? And I'm gonna make a whole video talking about this topic like all on its own, but I'll give you guys a brief rundown here. What happened in the days after that, basically I thought, and still to this day think, that I had the coronavirus, which is huge right now, and I know y'all are probably thinking like you're just saying that, but there were several things that kind of led to that decision. I did talk to my local health department. I did talk to my primary care physician. I ultimately did end up going to my local ER. They would not test me. They said that I do not have the flu. They confirmed that for me. So basically I was told in the ER that I had some sort of virus, and that was a week ago. And basically today is the first day that I'm totally like feeling normal again. I have had a fever for 11 days in a row now, and today is the first day that it's like going away, which is excellent. But basically, yeah, that's been my life the last 2 months. Oh, and in addition to all of that, I'm sure this is not news to anyone because this is happening all over the country, but my college has decided to switch to online-only classes. We were told that we would hear from our professors over the weekend to figure out how that's going to work. Being that I am a mechanical engineering major, I have no idea how this is going to work in terms of my labs and all of that. Our labs are very, very intensive, very hands-on. I don't have any idea how they're going to work that out. I was waiting to hear from my professors, and then instead I got a phone call yesterday afternoon that our spring break was being switched to this week. So our spring break was supposed to be like the second week of April. We always have ours really, really late for some reason. I don't know why, but I got a phone call yesterday that basically said that they were switching it to this week starting tomorrow, Monday, and that classes will resume sometime next week online. And I guess because they pushed it back, I'm assuming that they changed spring break around just to give the teachers more time to prepare, which is totally understandable, and I'm not complaining at all, but I haven't heard anything from any of my teachers, so I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know anything about that, so I'm kind of intrigued to see how that's going to go. But I figured now, since I have all this abundance of free time, that I would get back into YouTube and get back into making videos, since now I feel like I have the time, and now I feel like I have something interesting to talk about. Yeah, given everything that's happened to me lately. So like I said, I am gonna make a video talking about my experience with trying to get tested for coronavirus and all of that. So that was a lot. Like I said, that's pretty much been my life lately. So, but like I said, I have a lot of free time now, so I do plan on making a lot more videos, especially this upcoming week, because like I said, when we were originally told that we were switching to online classes, we were told they would begin on Tuesday. And now, since they changed spring break, we have another like 8 days, I guess, 9 days before we go back to school. So I couldn't even do any schoolwork even if I wanted to. And at this point, since I'm still getting over being sick, I've not been to work. So, and probably won't, maybe for another few days. So yeah, just been killing time. So here we are. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.